Impact of Mubarak's trial and what it is having, what effect it's having right there in Cairo. I want to bring in freelance journalist Ethar El-Katatney for a little bit more on that. She joins us via Skype from the Egyptian capital. Thanks so much for being with us. Today, a historic date. Do Egyptians, they grasp it? What are they telling you about what they saw today?
I think today's been incredible on so many levels because up until, I think, even just 10 minutes before, so many people thought that it would never happen, that he wouldn't even appear. So, to see the ex-president arrive, dressed in white, from a palace to a cage, that kind of sinking in, just the symbolism of that moment with his sons, some of the most popular, these were the most powerful people in Egypt, lifting, their hands up, yes, sir, we're here, was extremely shocking to a lot of Egyptians. The moment when they walked in, there was this excitement, and then suddenly the silence descended on everyone. Some people started crying. We're in Ramadan now. We have a lot of television serials, and this courtroom process, the 3 or 4 hours, was more riveting. Everyone was watching, and if you would see the range of emotions, the range of opinions, it's extremely diverse.
Ethar, let me ask you this: any sympathy, any sympathy for Hosni Mubarak in Egypt?
Oh, I think definitely there's sympathy. There's still the shock that to see him, in a hospital bed, to see his children trying to shield him. I even had my father, tearing up, look, his children trying to protect the father from the cameras. They were holding Qur'ans in their hand, which is the Muslim holy book. And all this does evoke sympathy. It does evoke, he's an old man, and he had to, even the session, it was open for a while, everyone saying whatever they wanted. There was, jokes, someone being like, oh, this isn't Mubarak, it's a clone, we should test his DNA. Someone else being, he hasn't been fingerprinted, we need to fingerprint him. It was very humiliating, the idea that to see them in that position for a lot of Egyptians, there was definitely a lot of sympathy.
Sympathy, okay. How about this? How about cynicism? It was only, barely hours ago that a lot of people were pushed out of their tent encampment in Tahrir Square. Egypt still ruled by the military, as it has been, as Rami Khouri pointed out, for 60 years. It's still the military in charge.
Oh, definitely.
Is this just diverting attention from that?
I was in Tahrir a couple of days ago, and definitely the mood was very different just hours before the military. Let's be very realistic. There's been a lot of developments. This is, a lot of people that this is an action by the military to appease, especially after the eviction of people from Tahrir, that no, we are doing something, that look, we are doing the right steps. And even, you had there's an allegation during the session that, that the military, this was the lawyer of Mubarak, who said that, the military's been in control since January 28th. And you had both sides actually call for Tantawi to be actually called as an eyewitness. So it will be very interesting to see the developments that the military, this is very much, it did soothe a lot of people. Just the fact that they appeared in court kind of made a lot of people calm down, and a lot of people divert their attention, focusing on things like what will happen, what are the developments. When Farid Adib, when the lawyer said that, does that mean that Tantawi will actually be called on the stand? But not a lot of people kind of diverted their attention from the idea that if it wasn't for the July 8th sit-in that was dispersed by the army, the CSF, and the police, that it would be that it wouldn't have happened. And you have state TV actually now, which is framing, spinning the trial that this is a victory for our judiciary system, for the Supreme Council of our Armed Forces. Look how transparent they are. Look how fair we are.
All right.
And so there's definitely that fear and that.
So
concern.
we've got some cynicism, some sympathy, certainly, but really an understanding what a historic scene played out in Cairo today.
It definitely is. Definitely is. A lot of drama. We'll just have to see how it plays out and how it's going to happen. You have Al-Adli's trial on Thursday, postponed to 15th. So everyone's watching, everyone's talking. And I think Egypt, from every hour, things are changing so rapidly and things are happening.
Right.
It's almost impossible to predict.
I got to leave it there. Ethar El-Katatney, I want to thank you very much for being with us, giving us a view from the streets.
Thank you.